Mom, shut up! We're doing a podcast!
One of these days, our mom's going to learn to be quiet.
Live from our parents' basement, and this time we actually are there.
Mm-hmm. Because it's a nice basement.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Welcome back to another episode of Pushing the Issue with Rocky and Shadow. And we have a third member today that we'd like to introduce, and that will be mostly what we are talking about today. Golden, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mostly talking about me. I didn't sign up for that.
No, entirely talking about you.
My name is Golden. I'm sure all of you have met me at some point or another.
How dare you, sir? You think that everyone who listens to this podcast only knows us? You don't think there are strangers out there?
We're world famous, dude.
Give me a buzz, and I'll be happy to meet anyone that doesn't know me.
I happen to know, judging on his actions, that Mitt Romney listens to this podcast weekly.
Okay, fair enough.
The funny part is that everyone in this room hasn't heard the last podcast, so they don't get the joke. Including Golden.
That's true. I slacked on the last week's.
That's okay. You're here now, and so you'll get to listen to them all live and in color.
Sweet.
Yeah. Dope.
So Golden is our brother. He is in between me and Rocky. And then we have a sister who's in between him and Rocky. But
Yep.
yeah, so.
What's up with you, Goldie? You still doing the cable?
Yeah, kind of. I work for an internet company. It's not cable, as the Neanderthal put it.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was cable too. Like we've been, every time we talk about it, oh yeah, he's doing that cable thing still.
Yeah.
I pull cable sometimes, but not very much anymore. Our office guy had some stuff I'm not going to get into, so I'm filling in for our office guy for a month. So I'm in the office taking phone calls and
Dope.
doing billing and stuff.
I hope it was high crime, white collar crimes.
It wasn't.
They'll keep you in there or what?
Till he
you're
gets,
hoping?
No.
Oh.
No, and once I go back down to Arizona, I'm going to quit, and I probably won't go back. So.
When do you graduate school?
Graduate college in December.
Oh, really?
If all goes well, yeah.
And that's the construction management degree, correct?
Correct, yeah. Construction management down at UVU. It's a great program. Check it out if you're looking to get a degree.
Sounds like somebody's not doing well in their grades, trying to kiss their ass into a passing grade, huh?
If I could convince one of my professors to listen to this podcast and that would work, yes.
Yeah,
Good luck.
Don't do that.
Good luck.
Then you will definitely fail.
Yeah.
He'll be like, I can't believe you affiliate with those people.
Dope, dude. So we might actually have a sibling to graduate college. I mean,
Yeah, I'll be the first.
assuming you don't die between now and then.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what we're hoping for, right? His wife just gave me a pretty dirty look for that. Sorry.
Buy life insurance.
Oh, we've got life insurance.
I know a guy.
Yeah,
I know a guy, Neil Dastrup.
there you go.
Austin, but sure.
Austin sells life insurance?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Does Austin listen to the podcast?
No, he needs to. I'll
Then buy
text
from
him.
Neil Dastrup.
That's who I bought from, Neil
Just
Dastrup.
kidding.
I didn't know that Austin sold life insurance.
Just kidding,
It's
Austin,
very
if you
recent.
decide to.
Yeah,
very recent.
he definitely, I'd be more likely to support him than Neil. I mean, I like Neil, but Austin needs my business more than Neil does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no kidding.
Neil's a
kidding.
multi-man. Sweet.
Well, right on, man.
So
Congrats.
that's a little about our new co-host. He's a
He's a college man.
swell dude.
Man.
We noticed we had a lot of dead air in the podcast, so we decided to get a third, see if we couldn't keep two people talking while the other one went, duh, and looked at his cell phone.
Google stuff.
I'm not going to say names, but it was definitely Shadow.
Dude, I'm super efficient at
There you
Googling stuff.
Yeah. So they chose the biggest airbag they knew, and
Yeah, you are a windy
sat him
guy.
down here.
Windy son of a gun.
Long-winded when I want to be. Feel like it.
So,
Well. How was your week, Rocky?
oh, we're starting with me.
Sure.
Good. I quit the caffeine.
How's that going?
I had some interesting experiences in the middle of the night.
That sounds filthy.
It was a dream. It was a nightmare.
Okay.
An extremely vivid nightmare of vampires luring me out of my house to eat my children. So,
Oh, interesting. Because they can't come in, unless you invite them in.
well, apparently they can. All they got to do is get you and your wife outside, and then they're
In your house?
yeah. So
That's
we
horrifying.
heard a banging sound, and I ran for my Spetsna shovel. That you
Oh,
got
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I took it downstairs, and all of a sudden I hear my wife screaming, and I run back upstairs, and I can't find her. And then I look outside, and she's like running around the yard screaming, and I'm like, what's going on? So I run out and I start chasing her. I don't know what she's running from. Then all of a sudden I look under this trailer. There's this vampire like crawling underneath this trailer, like stuck to the bottom, Then I realized they trapped us. They pulled us outside to get our kids. Then I woke up 4 a.m. Was not going back to sleep. So,
Sure.
Yeah, his dream self forgot the can't come in without an invitation rule.
Yeah.
Your subconscious needs some help
Well,
on that one.
I don't know. I mean, I was going to fight supernatural beings with a military shovel, so I don't know how smart I am anyways, but
Touche. How's that going, though? The no caffeine?
good. Dope.
Interesting.
I don't get as tired as you, but I sleep at night, so.
What time do you go to bed? You keep saying that like you go to bed way earlier than me, but I'm not convinced.
I try for 9,
Oh, okay.
so usually it ends up about 9:45 or 10.
Okay. I was doing pretty good at 11 o'clock, like pretty consistent. This last week wasn't so good. I was later than that. I had a lot going on, but
As you get older, you'll discover 11 is too late.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't seen 11 in a minute.
Mm-hmm. One day you're just like, oh, I'm a square. But I'm going to bed anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. And so, for our viewers who don't know, which is none of you, you've probably all heard, I stopped drinking caffeine about 4 weeks ago. And I've been experimenting with it, trying to see if I feel healthier. And I listened to a Hindu guru. Is that what he is?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's even Hindu. He's a yogi, so whatever yoga is from, Jace. You don't know? Yeah, we got Googlers today.
Yeah.
They can Google it. But he's a yogi, so he practices yoga, which I think is Hindu, but
Golden guessed Indian, so maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
boom,
Indian.
freaking nailed it.
yeah, he's Indian, but there's not a religion to it.
It's not a religion as much as a philosophy, similar to Buddhism. It's kind of like you're not worshiping something, but you're from what I remember, like you're centering yourself and being one with the earth and
Well, now that I think about it, I think
full peace. that
I've
kind of
heard
thing.
him talk about Hindu gods like the 8-arm Shiva or whatever.
Yeah, so I think it just kind of fits into any religion as an appendage to any.
The weird thing is he talks about food, and he doesn't discourage meat that much. Like he's not like I don't think he eats meat, but he's not.
He's not adamant that other
Yeah, he
people don't eat.
doesn't, yeah.
Interesting. Well, anyways, we listened to a video by him that talked about caffeine and stimulants in general, and he says you shouldn't take them because it affects the way that your spirit interacts with the earth. And so I've been experimenting with that, and it's been interesting. But I have been super tired, super hard to get motivated to do anything. But I also don't sleep that much, so.
Are we doing that
True.
episode right now, or are we?
No, I was just explaining since you talked about why you were off caffeine. That's all.
Okay.
We can save it for later.
There are other religious reasons that we do it, and they're not Hindu.
Yeah.
Just so that the listeners know.
That's where it originated. We'll readdress that in a later episode.
Sure.
But
So, how was your week, Shadow?
it was good. Just worked. Pretty standard week for me. Nothing much happened. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're working, helping out another company. So kind of doing the independent.
That the spy hop you were talking about?
Yeah.
Just so the listeners know, that's not an IHOP that's full of spies. Some stupid school. Dumb. Not as cool as it sounds.
Sorry, bro. Sorry to disappoint.
Real let down.
Our bad. How was your week, Golden?
Good. I have busy weeks, and that makes life hard. So I'm taking 18 credits, and I worked 42 hours this week. So I don't work as much as Rocky used to when he worked with Wagstaff, because he worked 80-hour weeks sometimes. But it's a lot. 18 credits is a lot. I did 18 credits last semester, and if I want to graduate, I think I have to take 15 next semester. So
Any chance you'll do any in the summer online?
maybe, but the problem is it's not a problem, it's great actually. The only things I have left really are major classes, and they don't offer a lot of those online. So
And it would be cheaper to do it all at once too, wouldn't it? Because you have to pay a minimum for
I think
3
so.
credits.
I'm not sure.
Anything above 12 credits is all the same cost.
Yeah, but what's your time worth? That's what I tell people all the time. It's like changing the oil in your car. I can do it, but it's just not worth my time. You got to find a place to dispose of the oil, and it's a mess.
Yeah, I get that.
I keep hearing that, but I always change my own oil, so I don't know what my problem is.
Do you pour the oil down the gutter?
I have.
You're not supposed to do that anymore.
Don't tell anyone.
Since the 80s, you're not supposed to do that.
Don't tell anyone.
It's been more than 10 years since he did that. Statute of limitations.
Yeah, it is statute of limitations.
Well, there is no statute of limitations when it comes to violating Mother Earth, sir. How dare you?
Oh, my bad. Well, here's an interesting thing. Rocky, you'll appreciate this. I just got a text message. Hi there, it's Bronwyn with Warren for president. Is this Shadow?
Dope.
Let's respond, shall we?
Hi, Bronwyn. Bronwyn?
Yeah.
Hi, Bronwyn.
I'm going with yes, it is. How can I help you? What do you think?
Hi, Bronwyn. This is Shadow.
Rocky just gazes into the distance.
We're going with how can I help you?
This is Shadow.
He's like,
Standing on a cliff looking out into the distance. Oh, that was a little,
This is Shadow. Be careful how you speak to me.
I'm a crazy person.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm nuts.
We'll see if she responds during the podcast. We'll see how it goes.
Bronwyn, do you think that's a girl name?
Yes.
I would guess yes.
Bronwyn?
Yeah, man.
Wait, weren't you going to name one of your kids Bronwyn?
Nah, Bron Wolf.
Oh, my
I
bad.
did name my kid Bron Wolf.
Oh,
That's
no,
right.
it was going to be something else, though,
Bot
wasn't
Wolf.
Bot Wolf.
it? Oh, it was going to be Bob Wolf.
There we
How
go.
did you spell it? Bronwyn?
W-Y-N.
W-Y-N.
That's what I meant.
I have met a Bronwyn. Have I met a Bronwyn? Yeah, my wife's nodding. I've met a Bronwyn.
Bronwyn is a girl's name of Welsh meaning.
Yeah. I really like Welsh names. I think they're cool.
Yeah, Bronwyn's a pretty cool name.
I guess I don't know that many Welsh names.
She answer?
Not yet. I'll let you know if she does.
Just be like, time sensitive, we're doing a podcast right now. A hugely popular podcast.
Hugely popular.
We're wildly popular, and
We're
you're
likely-
live on our podcast.
We're likely to sway some voters for Warren, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a chinchilla when we first got married. We named it Ciaradwyn, and that was that's the Welsh goddess of the moon. Named her that because
Sometimes I forget what a huge freaking nerd you are.
super nerd. It's Welsh.
We're getting reports that it's Nordic.
Google it, darling. This just in. My wife is wrong.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Great, thanks for confirming. I'm volunteering for Elizabeth because corruption in Washington is preventing real change. And Elizabeth is determined to be a president who works for the people, not big donors. Which presidential candidate are you planning on supporting in the upcoming Utah primary?
Dude, please say Elizabeth who? Did she say Elizabeth Warren?
No, she sure didn't.
So Elizabeth who?
Wait, Elizabeth who? I'm on it. I can do that.
Do we have confirmation?
Golden's right.
Oh! About what?
The
She's
chinchilla
Celtic.
Was that's not what you said.
You said Welsh.
Welsh.
Welsh and Celtic are like the same thing.
I think that we would get some
Sorry if I
disagreements
offended
there.
anyone with that.
I don't think Celtic is really a ethnicity that exists anymore.
And Welsh, I guess Welsh is. Wales is still a place.
Alexander the Grape did good job wiping them out.
The grape.
I think Julius Caesar did his part too.
Oh, was it Julius Caesar? Might have just been Julius Caesar.
I know he was. The Celts and the Gauls were Julius Caesar's.
I'm sorry. Can you forgive me for mixing up
Alexander the Great did too.
my ancient tyrants?
Tyrants.
Can you please forgive me?
Ancient heroes. Thank you.
Heroes for sure.
They were
We
tyrants.
just talked about the Celtic genocide they committed.
Is it genocide if no one remembers?
Ooh. There's some angry Irish people right now, even though they're not really
That
Celts.
listen to us. Yeah. Speaking of which, I'd love to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
Got a
answer?
response. Elizabeth Warren is running to be the Democratic nominee to take on President Trump in November 2020. Oh, I might have to vote for her after this piece of information. Elizabeth grew up on the ragged edge of the middle class in Oklahoma and became a teacher, a law professor, and a U.S. senator because America invested in kids like her. Dude, that's why she's Native American, bro. She grew up in Oklahoma.
Listen, you can do whatever you want here at this point in the conversation with Bronwyn, but I think I would say, oh, you mean Pocahontas?
Well played.
Is John Smith going to be the nation's first man? First gentleman?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Even though Pocahontas never even married John Smith.
This is going to go so poorly.
She did marry somebody.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't John Smith. I think that was a Disney inaccuracy.
And then if she gets mad at me, I'll be like, I'm sorry I wasted your time, but you shouldn't text me on a Sunday night.
No, it was a Disney inaccuracy. She married somebody else,
Yeah,
British man, but she just met
We're British, dude.
she met John Smith when she was like 12 or something, right?
And I think she did save his
Wasn't that
life.
like perfect marrying age in that day?
12? Depends on who you ask.
The answer's right behind you.
John Rolfe is who Pocahontas married.
Rolf or Wolf?
Rolfe.
But
R-O-L.
I think she knew somebody named John Smith, too.
I think
though.
so. I think they really met. I don't know.
There's lots of Johns in those days.
Lots of Johns in these days.
Popular. Shoot, our dog is John, so I guess I can.
Most of them were probably Jonathans, though.
What would you say the Johns for today are?
I just thought it'd be funny to say. Sorry, folks.
Let's see here. We are receiving just so much information. I feel like every time I have to do this.
We're kind of scattered today. We are kind of scattered today.
Yeah, John Smith met Pocahontas when was about 11. But apparently, other than that, the Disney story was pretty close. Like, the only real inaccuracy was the age difference. John Smith got captured by Powhatan's tribe. I don't know how to say his name. Powhatan. But
Why can't we just say Pocahontas' tribe?
Pocahontas' dad.
We need these two down here more often. It makes the Googling way easier.
Yeah, we didn't need a third member. We needed somebody to Google stuff for us.
I could have done that. Jeez.
Nah, you're good. This is working.
What'd she say, bro?
Nothing. I definitely think she's offended. She will not be responding to me.
Dude, Trump's the best, dude. Every time he calls her Pocahontas, I jump for joy. I love you, Trump.
No, like physically jumps for joy.
Yeah.
I believe you.
I pull the car over.
Get out.
Get out. Jump. Fist.
Yes! Freedom!
I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but what did you think of old Pelosi tearing up the speech and then getting fined?
We did not talk about it. She
Did
got
she really
fined
get
for that?
I heard. That could be untrue. I just saw something.
I don't know. It doesn't affect me. I don't expect anything different out of them. Any of them, really, you know.
Yeah.
So, I am surprised, though, because we talked about Mitt Romney last time. I honestly thought Mitt Romney would complain the whole way and then fall in line with the party, and he did not.
I think that's to his credit. Regardless,
To the impeach.
the only thing
No.
I've noticed is that people who don't like Trump think it was a brave choice, and people who like Trump do not. It's been pretty At least as far as people that I know goes, it's been pretty black and white that way, which is interesting.
Brave, sure. Foolish and brave, though, are...
Sometimes synonyms.
Well, yeah. Not cinnamon, but they're...
Cinnamon rolls? I'm hungry.
They are different reasons to do the same stupid thing.
Yeah. I think it's to his credit that he stuck with it and he wrote it out, even though he was the only one to break party lines. And regardless of whether or not you agree with him, I think it was to his credit that he did that.
Nah, just shows how dense he really is and how worthless he is as a senator.
I Googled it, jumping from Mitt Romney and back to Pelosi, and her getting fined was satire.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my problems, is a lot of my news comes from
The Onion.
just scrolling through Facebook and reading headlines and moving on with my life, because I don't care about a lot of it.
Have you seen The Onion's YouTube page?
No, I bet it's hilarious though.
Dude, it is pretty good. They did a new story on hiring Lil Wayne to go do all the drugs in Mexico.
To just do them so they can't come to the U.S.
Yeah, they do a story on the cost of the price hike of cigarettes in prison. They're good, dude. They're very funny.
Clever. It's very clever.
That's awesome.
I definitely dig The Onion.
Little dirty for this podcast, but it's funny. So go check that out if you're into dirty stuff, I guess.
What do you mean by dirty?
I mean, the cost of cigarettes is...
Sexual?
Yeah, not good.
Oh, I didn't even put it together.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah.
That makes
No
it better.
answer from Bronwyn?
She's not going to respond,
Now
bro.
hit her back, bro. Be like, oh, what, you're done? You're not going to convince me to vote for your commie witch woman?
Commie native woman.
Commie medicine woman?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I could do it.
Why? What have you got to lose?
Say, no, my mind's already made up, but my brother might be swayable, and then give her my number.
Rocky's number. Yeah, you want to set this girl up to be abused over text.
Oh, yeah. Just kidding. Don't send her my number.
I would love for you to handle it, though.
Just tell her, change my mind. We got, I don't know,
Send her
8
that
more
meme.
minutes.
Huh?
Send her that meme. The dude sitting at the table. I'm voting for Trump. Change my mind. You know.
Oh, gotcha.
Steven Crowder.
Steven Crowder. Louder
Yeah.
with Crowder.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy sets himself up, dude. He gets attacked by more transsexuals than anyone I know.
Okay. Do you know a lot of people who get attacked by
No,
transsexuals?
but he always does. I swear, every town he goes to, there's a tranny waiting to throw something at him.
Waiting to throw hands with Steven Crowder.
Sorry, you're not supposed to say tranny. I'm looking at the
As your producer.
political correctness police over here.
The PC police nixed that. No more saying tranny. No more saying retard.
Retard.
We've said that one a
I
couple
haven't
times.
said retard in like one episode. So
No, you didn't say it on the Godcast either. I think it's been 2 episodes.
Are you sure? I thought I did. No, I know I said it on the last episode.
I don't
I meant this episode.
Oh! You might have said it about Mitt Romney. You're right. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Don't do that anymore.
Touche, sir. Touche.
Dope. Well, anything else you gentlemen want to talk about? Or
I'm good. I'm trying to think of anything I found interesting this week, but I'm pretty good.
That's something I found interesting.
Okay.
What's that?
Super off topic, but I thought of it.
Let's hear it, bro.
I think it's interesting how your brain recognizes people.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's this show that I watch. It's called Superstore. And just so the listeners know, probably a lot of my input is going to be regarding shows that I watch.
Regarding television?
We watch
Sure.
a lot of television. And there's a guy on it that I really like. And I recognized him from somewhere, and I couldn't figure out where. And I kind of forgot about it. And then recently, I got on the YouTube, and I watched one of my favorite series from College Humor called If Google Was a Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Real enjoyable. If you haven't watched it, give it a go.
It's pretty funny.
And the guy from the show Superstore is one of the people asking questions to Google the guy. I knew I recognized him. But the weird thing to me is I've only ever seen that guy in like 10-second clips years ago, and I still recognized him. Oh. It's kind of crazy that you're like, I recognize that guy, but where from, you know?
It's also interesting the way your mind remembers faces. For example, the famous sketch of the Unabomber is actually a rendering of the first sketch artist. So there were two sketch artists. They did two sketches. And the one was like 2 years after the original one.
Yeah.
And the lady described the original sketch artist. So she was remembering the face. So she was seeing the face that she was telling the first time.
Weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
So, yeah, she associated it in her brain.
And also, crows are the only animals that can recognize faces.
Crows are freaky smart, man.
Human faces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dogs? No, that makes sense.
I think dogs
recognize smell.
go off scent, yeah, but I'm not sure either.
It is funny to think about remembering faces, because more than one person, I recently made a radical change to my beard. I cut 2 inches off of it, and I completely shaved my mustache.
He looks like could be Namurgamedorov.
Oh, yeah. I just told him you looked Amish, but...
How was my pronouncement, Jay?
And anyway, 2 people said to me, I'd been talking to them for a while, and I believe Shadow was one of them, and said, "Oh, you shaved your face. You shaved your mustache." Like, you just barely noticed?
Well, it wasn't so much that I just barely noticed, but it was like you walked in and I saw your face and knew that you had trimmed your hair, and I knew that it bothered me and looked Amish, but I couldn't figure out why. I was like, what did you do? And then I realized you shaved your mustache. So it wasn't until I saw it up close, but I recognized you changed something.
I see. Yeah, the other one was my coworker, and I'd been standing and chatting with him for like half an hour, and then as he was headed out the door to go take care of an issue, he said, "Oh, did you trim your beard?" "Yeah, man." Like a lot. Uh-oh.
Oh, yes. I got a response. I'm so excited.
Nice. Wait, before you do. Golden's wife just proved me wrong. Dogs can recognize faces. So.
Oh, interesting.
Thanks for raining on my parade, Catherine.
So I wonder if crows are the only like bird or the only non-domesticated animal.
Primates can as well.
Well, they don't count. They have faces.
It sounds like there's lots of animals that can do it, is what I'm coming to understand.
Dogs, crows, and birds. Or dogs, crows, and primates.
Sheeps.
What's...
Sheeps.
Sheeps cannot.
How do you know that, Jay?
I googled it.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyways,
Great
isn't it
equalizer.
super crazy that lady remembered the original?
Yes, back to the Unabomber.
The original
She was
artist?
thinking of the
That's crazy
sketch
right
artist.
there.
All right, man. What did Bronwyn give us?
Okay. Elizabeth has apologized and understands that she should have been more sensitive since she is not a tribal citizen. She's grateful for the kindness she's received from tribal leaders and has worked hard to be a good partner on issues important to Native Americans.
Nice. That's some good spin doctors they got.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I'm sure they were prepared for that question.
I would assume most of this is scripted or given to them.
Maybe you could say something like, so her name's not Pocahontas? No.
I get most of my news off Twitter. I thought her name was actually Pocahontas. I thought that was her actual middle name.
Her middle name is Pocahontas. That'd be
something. I don't know.
yeah, right.
Or say something like, I thought her tribal name was legit Pocahontas. Like, I thought that was what she liked being called or something. I don't know.
I'm struggling on this
You
one.
could also just turn it a little more personal and say, did you apologize to the Welsh people for your name?
Ooh.
No, you don't like that one?
No. I'm not
don't love
big
it
on
either.
I'm
I'm
not
just
big
curious.
on the personal attacks. I don't think she needs that.
feel like
She's
it
got
was
a hard
personal.
enough life. She's texting me about a presidential candidate at 7:30 on a Sunday evening.
I don't know. She chose that life, so I don't...
That's true.
You know, it's not like someone's forcing her at gunpoint to text you on a Sunday night. She probably really, truly believes in Elizabeth Warren.
Unless she's an intern or something. Something of that nature. But still, yeah, she did make that choice.
Yeah,
I do
she could have
understand
said
that.
no, I'm not working for Elizabeth Warren. What's the area code?
508?
Anybody know off the top of their heads?
Oh, yeah, I have all the area codes memorized.
508.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Where's Warren from?
I don't know.
California?
Google team, where's Elizabeth Warren from? Jace crushed it with the 508 area code.
She's a senator from Massachusetts.
Where?
Oh, she's a senator from Massachusetts, but I remember
She's born in Oklahoma.
Shadow told
Yes.
us in this podcast that she's from Oklahoma. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I did say
Go
that.
team.
I forgot.
Golden pays attention.
Also, I don't know if she... This says she's from... not from on the ragged edge of the middle class in Oklahoma. She's from Oklahoma City.
Maybe you could say, how did you get my number? And what would make you think you were going to convert me to socialism or something?
Is Elizabeth Warren a full-on socialist?
It depends on who she's talking to.
Oh, so she's a true politician.
Yeah, she's very chameleonic.
Yeah,
That's a word. I just said it. It's a word.
works.
Don't Google that, Jason.
It's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pin her down on her politics, but some of her stuff is, I don't know. She's got a lot of, like, the Medicare for all stuff. She's just pandering to the far left of her party is all.
Pandering to the masses.
Well, no, not the majority of her party, the loud minority.
Interesting.
She's trying to win over the Bernie voters, but it sounds like they're both out. And so is Biden. Sounds like Buttigieg is the guy.
Sanders won the caucus.
What's that?
Sanders won the caucus.
Oh, Bernie Sanders.
I thought
won
Buttigieg won.
the Iowa caucus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently, Bernie won. The
sounds
Iowa
like the
caucus.
Democrats are finally running a commie.
Although Buttigieg did pull it
I
out
thought he was a
by
full-on
0.1%.
socialist.
Buttigieg did pull it out by
He
0.1%.
won 2 more votes.
2 more votes?
Jeez.
That is funny. Wow, impressive.
Wow.
There you go.
Unfortunately, Buttigieg will not win.
Why?
Because black people don't vote for gays.
Interesting.
That's coming from the mouth of a black person. They're very religious with conservative family values.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is Hillary running again?
No, she wants to be vice president.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's the way to do
Oh,
it.
dude, I'm all about it. I say get Bill back in the White House, man. Guy knows where he belongs, man. That's where you pull tail, bro. He's in the White House.
Well, also, the fear with that, though, is...
He's never had it so good.
Well, at the same time, I don't know if Hillary being vice president, I don't know if the country is open to a president of the United States, sitting president, committing suicide.
Oh,
Epstein reference?
that's a good one.
Oh, more than once, bro.
Well done. Well done.
I mean, Epstein, food for thought. What if he did kill himself?
Well, in the words of Norm Macdonald, though, like, we just got the murder out of the White House. Why would we put it back in?
You never can tell, man.
Did you see that View interview? Oh, my
Nah,
gosh.
I wish. He said that on The View?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it went
It
poorly.
was hilarious. Dude, and the best part is, like, the ladies on The View were like, your career's over. Your career's over.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, he is making comedic gold on your show. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't believe that Norm Macdonald has the ability to kill his career.
Oh,
at this
my
point.
gosh, no. Yeah,
People that like Norm Macdonald are going to like him no matter what he
Oh,
says.
yeah. He can say
That's
He can
why they
say
like
whatever.
him.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and he had already been fired from Saturday Night Live. Like,
Nah, dude, it was like,
Mutual.
he was like, they're like, so you're a Bush fan? He's like, yeah, I'm just ready to get the murder out of the White House. And they're like, what did you say? You can't say that. He's like, you ever heard about this? He just keeps pushing. No, like he's like you know this. Everyone knows this.
He's like, and it was common knowledge.
It's a meme.
You shut up. And he's like, okay. And then like they try changing the subject, and he just brings it right back, dude.
You can see how much they're bothered by it. Like 3 times in a row, just brings it back.
I don't understand why they would book more Norm Macdonald.
Oh, dude, it was so classic, dude.
What producer hates the people on The View that bad? Dude, I hate these.
And
ladies.
the weird thing was
Norm
like
Macdonald.
there was a producer because he talks about it after. There was a producer on this like gave him a cell phone. And was like, here, this is going to ring in the middle of the segment. And you answer it, pretend like it's your agent. And he's like, I'm not doing that. So, like, he just gets done with, like, this Bill Clinton's a murderer thing. And this phone rings on a TV show. Oh, it is so funny. And he's like, I don't know what this is. Like, your producer just gave it to me. Oh, it's so funny.
I might have to go watch that clip. Never thought I'd be looking up clips of The View.
Yeah, dude.
It's funny, man.
Oh, so funny.
I guess so. Like, when they invite him on shows like that, David Spade talked about this because he was on Lights Out with David Spade. They're like, oh, yeah, when you invite Norm, you just kind of don't plan what's going to happen. Because it doesn't matter what you plan. He's going to go off the rails and do everything you don't want. And, like, they invited him with Jay Leno, who's, like, super famous in the comedy community, I guess. I didn't realize how big of a deal he was in the comedy community, but he's a huge deal. And Norm just insulted like his hair plugs and stuff. And
his whole what?
His hair plugs and stuff.
Oh, he did.
And David Spade's like, it's Norm, man. Like that's just kind of He's talking about it later. He's like, yeah, we didn't know who to bring in with Jay Leno because nobody wants to be overshadowed by Jay Leno, and so we brought Norm because he doesn't care. He just made fun of him though.
He brought in. After the whole Conan O'Brien lost his job to Jay Leno again thing, he brought a fruit basket on the Conan O'Brien show, and he's like, oh, Conan's like, oh, this is your first time on my cable show. Thanks for bringing this basket. He's like, oh yeah, no, this is a late. I got this for you when you got the Tonight Show, and it's got this card that says like, Dear Conan, congratulations on getting the Tonight Show. They can never take this away from you. And all this stuff. Oh, he is so funny.
Jay Leno did that?
No, Norm Macdonald, Conan O'Brien. He murders,
man.
Dude. He is so
Norm
funny.
Macdonald, that guy.
He's funny.
He's killer. So, yeah, that's a rabbit hole, though. Be careful. Make sure you got a couple hours to spend on YouTube when you start looking up Jane.
Because you will not be in bed by 9 o'clock if you go down that rabbit hole too late.
For sure.
They got my number from the public voter file.
What are you registered to vote?
Yeah.
What are you registered as?
Independent party.
There we go.
Are you registered as Republican?
I register as a Republican because you can't get into the caucus unless you're registered as a Republican.
I think that's why I registered as a Republican as well.
But I've given up on caucus, dude. It's like I'm like this close to being voting for Count My Vote, you know, where they just make everyone get 10,000 signatures or whatever to get on the ballot because it's just a neighborhood. Nobody listens. Nobody asks questions. It's a popularity contest, you know. Nobody. You can stump people left and right on these issues, and people just don't care, you know.
But just like Bronwyn reaching out to Shadow with open hands and open heart, and Shadow saying nope.
I went to.
To be fair, if you guys hadn't been coaching me, I would have just said, "Yeah, I'm not really interested." But because it happened during the podcast,
for sure, we had to mess with her.
Part. You should probably tell her we did it on the podcast and invite her to listen.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and share with your friends.
Put it on there, dude. Hey, you are on Pushing the Issue. Rocky and Shadow.
All right, I'll do
and
it.
Golden now. But
okay. I'll just be a visitor until I move again.
We'll put you on it, dude. So my first caucus I went to, it was right when they were passing the gay marriage stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was asked about gay marriage, and I said, I think that marriage is a religious right, and so it's up to the churches who they marry. And the only reason that the federal government has anything to do with it is because of the tax code, the messed up tax code we have. So I said, I think we should reform the tax code,
We don't have to worry
and
about
and then leave it to the churches who they decide to marry.
it. Sure.
And that lost me votes, dude. Like,
Yeah.
there were some upset people about it. And I said that I used to be an anarchist, but then I read the 5,000 Year Leap, and it pulled me back to a constitutionalist.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy's like, "Oh, so you used to run around with Bill Ayers?" I'm like,
Oh.
Bill Ayers is a communist revolutionary. Like, that's the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, what are you talking about? And like, and then this lady and this guy were sitting up front when I was making the speech about the gay marriage. And I did that thing where I lost my train of thought and was going, duh,
Wait, Rocky?
duh.
You've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
And
They just did it.
his wife said, "'Cause they have rights, you know, that's why they should be able to get married." And I was like, well, that's not it, you know. And her husband's like, "Oh, shh, don't do that, don't do that." And then that guy ran for the same thing I ran for and got voted in.
Because he shushed his wife.
Yeah, I'm like,
She
so
doesn't
this
like
guy is, believes that the government should be involved in gay marriage and should make it legal, when I just told you that I don't think my church should marry gays. I just think that churches have a right to.
Yeah.
And that guy got voted in and I didn't. And I'm like, dude, whatever. And it's been downhill ever since then. That was actually my second caucus. Anyway, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
had the same experience at my first caucus, only instead of gay rights, it was in regards to abortion. The problem is, when it comes to politics, there's no middle ground. You have to be taking a hard stance on the far side of whatever party you're with. That's why Bernie's a straight-up socialist. That's why Warren is a communist, And so they asked me all the questions, and then they said, "How do you feel about abortion?" And I kind of hem and hawed a little, because even the church that is predominant in this region believes that abortion has its place. It's the actual handbook says abortion is between the couple, their bishop, and the Lord, and that it should really only be considered in instances of rape and incest. Or something along those lines. And that's, kind of how I feel about it. And I said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I kind of hem and hawed a little and lost a lot of votes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we
so
elected, the next election we elected the same guy we've been electing for years.
Who has no beliefs, just one guy like that I went for, he'd been taken to dinner by Orrin Hatch and had a Orrin Hatch button on his freaking lapel,
I wonder who this guy's voting for.
Well,
even though Orrin Hatch has the same, if not farther left-leaning view on abortion that you do,
Yep.
people love to have somebody tell them what to think. That's the dream. That's the dream, is having somebody tell you what to think. I sent it. I told Bronwyn to listen to our podcast.
That's awesome.
Any response?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
That takes a lot of something. I don't know what to call it, but
Gumption.
yeah, gumption. We'll go with gumption. Another thing that the listeners are probably going to get a lot of from me is video games. Playing video games with my squad, in air quotes for the listeners, and one of them got super nerd.
Pause. Because Shadow and I are super nerdy, but Golden takes it to the next
man.
level.
Takes the cake.
He's the LeBron James of nerds. Continue. Sorry.
Respect where respect is due. I'm the Michael Jordan of nerds.
sorry.
Jeez. LeBron James. Anyway, so my buddy got mad because a fellow on the opposing team was camping and employing tactics, essentially, tactics that my buddy disagreed with. And after the game, my buddy messaged him and said, I wish you hadn't been camping, or something along those lines, something kind of salty. And the guy replied back and said, "If you need Call of Duty tips, visit my Mixer," which is like his streaming channel. It's like, Same kind of deal. Like,
Genius.
it's like, man, can't even be mad at that guy's slow clap, you know?
God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
That's
Well
funny.
played, sir.
That's funny.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. What if she's subscribed? That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
That would be sick.
No.
She won't, though.
But one.
I am dedicating this to her on YouTube. This
All right.
issue is this episode is dedicated to Bronwyn.
Probably.
The intern
Elizabeth
for-
Warren's.
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren's volunteer.
I really dig the typing hands.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own version. And they're always funny.
Right on.
Well, we went 25 minutes longer than we said we would.
Yeah, they're trying to play games up there. What time is it?
It's only
Bedtime,
quarter to 8.
bro.
Way past bedtime. Sun's
Apparently,
down,
it's
I'm
bedtime
down.
for me.
For sure. All right, gentlemen. Well, I think this was a good little episode with Golden involved. I think we should invite the 2 producers back next week as well. Yeah, Jace is the man. Then Jace can. Yeah, for sure.
Catherine will probably follow me.
Catherine's the wool man, except she proves me wrong. So,
So boo that.
boo.
I'm standing by it. Crows are the only ones that can recognize human faces.
Man, how politician are you? Double down on your wrongness? That's dope.
Dude, I always used to have a bias against crows because J.R.R. Tolkien's like super against crows but really pro raven. Come to find out, they're pretty much
They're
the
like
same bird.
Yeah.
Their tails are shaped slightly different.
Yep. One's bigger, I think the ravens are bigger.
But hey, when J.R.R. Tolkien's the guy telling you what
he
to think,
speaks,
you
he's the
believe.
boss, you know?
Okay. Man, we'll have to do an episode on Tolkien because,
For sure.
He's the real deal, bro.
yeah, we can get into his. You think I'm the LeBron James of nerdiness? Tolkien blows me out of the water.
Well, we've got a
He's
Godcast,
a
man, and
genius.
you could lead a Nerdcast as well.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. But,
He just got aroused. He just got aroused down here.
but the problem is, we lose listeners on the Godcast, but the Nerdcast will like half the listeners of the Godcast.
I don't
It'll be
think
me
so.
listening to it like 18 times.
Well, the truth is, the listeners that we do have, they're pretty much loyal to us, not necessarily to what we say. They don't actually like our content.
Let's be frank, we've lost listeners on every podcast we've done, so it's
gone.
not just the Godcast.
We can look at the analytics.
Yeah, let's
I'll
see.
pull it up.
Let's have a look-see.
Apparently, we're not done. We wrapped up and then we got back into it.
We haven't said the final phrase yet, so...
Oh, 17 for the last one. But see, they've steadily gone down.
Yeah.
66 for the first one and just down. But the Godcast is significantly lower every time. 20 there and 23 here.
So,
17 for the
people
mid-round.
just don't want to hear our views on God.
Or on anything, really.
It is weird that... I wonder who the 66 were to begin with, Like, I didn't know I knew that many people.
Shadow does.
Like, maybe they're just like guys in the Google office are like, oh, let's try this new one out.
Oh, this was bad.
Yeah, listen to these guys.
Not even any video.
Going
Low
nowhere.
quality.
Low quality.
All right.
Right on. Let's consider this issue pushed.
Yep. We put her into the wall for sure.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Alrighty, folks. That's a wrap for this week. God bless.
Leave a comment.
Like and subscribe,
Like and subscribe.
especially you, Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
Dedicated to you, Bronwyn. This one's out to you. Thank you. Thank
You
for
are
joining
entitled
us.
to your political beliefs. We'd love to have you on.
Yeah.
We would definitely interview you about Elizabeth Warren. And we'll be nice, too. I promise. We will be nice. So...
We're much nicer in person than we are on the podcast. So if you listen to any of the other episodes and then we have you on, we won't treat you.
If you decide to come on, give us some warning because Shadows and Golden, because they're both techie, are gonna have to figure out how to get phone calls onto this program.
I'm not that kind of tech.
Oh yes, you are.
I'm just the,
Hey, I put it on you. You're in charge.
okay.
She said she'll take a look.
Sweet.
No,
She's not going to.
no, she's not.
Oh, she will, but she's not gonna listen for very long. Long enough to give us our first dislike.
She definitely won't get to this point in this podcast. That's for sure. Even if she listened to this episode.
Alrighty. Folks, God bless. We'll see you next week.
Adios.